What's a black woman like you doing in a car this nice? Prostitution paying that well? Cooper slams Faith Bennett against the hood of her Honda at the Shell station, exit 160. Her face hits metal hard while three white cops pin her body flat and strangers film without helping. This is profiling. This is what happens when you're black driving through white counties. I'm not. Shut your mouth. He twists her arm until bone grinds. Your kind doesn't buy cars like this. Where'd you steal it? Her cheek presses against cold steel, his knee crushing her spine while he searches for anything to justify this brutality. His hand reaches the glove compartment and yanks it open. That's when Faith pulls out her badge and flashes it right in his face. FBI, federal agent, gold shield gleaming under the lights, and Cooper freezes completely because the black woman he's pinning isn't who he thought. She's the one person who can end him. Watch what happens when the prey becomes the predator. Faith Bennett has been driving for 73 minutes when she realizes she's almost out of gas. The Honda Accord, 12 years old, paid off, reliable, ticks over 180,000 miles somewhere between exit 158 and 159 on Interstate 85, just north of the Georgia-South Carolina line. It's Friday night, 9:15. The sky went dark an hour ago and the March cold seeps through the cracked window she keeps open because the heater runs too hot. She's singing. Badly. Luther Vandross on a station that fades in and out as she moves between towers. The back seat holds evidence of intention. A shopping bag with homemade brownies her 12-year-old son helped make. A scarf still in its packaging because her mother mentioned the cold. Faith hasn't been home in 6 months. The case in Atlanta consumed her. Financial fraud, civil rights violations, the kind of work that follows you into sleep. But tonight she's just a daughter driving to see her mother. Nothing more complicated than that. The Honda's fuel light blinks. She glances at the GPS. Exit 160, 2 miles, Shell station. She'll stop for gas, grab terrible coffee, maybe a bag of chips she doesn't need. A patrol car passes her going south. White with a blue stripe. Unit 419. She notices because noticing is what she does. 14 years as an FBI agent teaches you to catalog details without thinking about it. But the car is going the opposite direction, so she returns her attention to Luther and the road ahead. 20 years ago, Faith was 19 and sitting in almost this exact position. Different car, same highway, same knot of anxiety in her stomach. That officer never gave a reason for the stop, just made her stand in the cold while he searched everything she owned. Asking where she got money for college like a full academic scholarship was impossible for someone who looked like her. She cried the whole drive back to campus that night. Changed her major from education to criminal justice the next week. Decided if the system was broken, she'd fix it from inside. 20 years later, she's still trying. Exit 160 appears. Faith signals, merges right, follows the curve of the off-ramp. The Shell station glows neon blue against the darkness. One truck at the far pump, otherwise empty. She pulls in, selects regular unleaded, lifts the nozzle. The pump clicks and hums, gas flows. She leans against the car, checking her phone. 3 missed calls from her son. She smiles, starts to dial back. Headlights sweep across the parking lot. A patrol car, white with blue stripe, Unit 419, pulls in behind her. Not at a pump, just behind her car, blocking her in. The engine idles, rough and uneven. Faith's hand tightens on her phone. Muscle memory from 20 years ago floods back. But she's not 19 anymore. She's a federal agent. She's done nothing wrong. This is probably nothing. The driver's door opens. Heavy boots on concrete. Faith puts her phone in her pocket, keeps her hands visible. Waits. The officer appears in her peripheral vision. Young, maybe early 30s, blonde hair cut military short. His hand rests on his holster, not gripping it, just resting, like a reminder. He doesn't say hello, doesn't explain why he's there. He says, license, registration, proof of insurance, now. And Faith Bennett knows this isn't nothing at all. Cooper. That's the name on his badge. Officer Ryan Cooper, Hartwell County Sheriff's Department. Faith reads it while she reaches slowly into her glove compartment. Hands where I can see them, Cooper says. Faith stops. Officer, I'm reaching for my registration. You just asked for it. Do it slowly. She does. Pulls the registration, her license from her wallet. Hands them over. Cooper takes them without looking at her face. He's studying the car instead. The Honda's old but clean. Out-of-state plates, Georgia tags. Where are you coming from? Cooper asks. Atlanta, I'm visiting my mother in Hartwell. What do you do for work? I'm a federal employee. Cooper's eyes flick to her face. Something crosses his expression. Not belief. Something closer to skepticism. Federal employee? What kind? Faith measures her response. I work for the Justice Department. It's not a lie. The FBI is part of justice, but she doesn't say FBI yet. Some instinct tells her to wait. Cooper walks back to his patrol car, takes her documents with him, doesn't explain why she's been stopped, doesn't mention a traffic violation. Faith hasn't committed one. She was going 63 in a 65 zone, all lights functional, turn signal used. She waits, counts the seconds. 90, 120. Another patrol car pulls in, unit 319. A younger officer exits. Name tag reads Davis. He approaches Cooper's window. They talk. Faith can't hear the words, but she sees Davis glance her direction twice. Then a third car. Unit 225, Officer Martinez. 3 officers now, 1 woman at a gas station who's done nothing wrong. Faith's heart rate climbs. She knows what this is, knows it in her bones, but knowing doesn't make it less terrifying. Cooper walks back. Davis and Martinez follow, forming a triangle around her. Ma'am, step out of the vehicle. Faith takes a breath. Officer Cooper, can you tell me why I'm being stopped? I asked you to step out of the vehicle. I'd like to know the reason for step out. Faith complies, slowly, hands visible. No sudden movements. She's been trained for this, not as a victim, as an investigator. But the training doesn't account for how small you feel when 3 armed men surround you in a public place. She steps out, closes the door gently. Turn around, hands on the vehicle. Officer, I haven't. Cooper's hand presses between her shoulder blades, firm, controlling. Faith's chest compresses against cold metal. The hood of her Honda. The smell of gasoline intensifies, her palms flat against the surface. Officer, you're using force without... You don't have consent to search my vehicle, Faith says. Her voice stays level, calm. She's practiced this voice in courtrooms, in interrogations, in moments when panic would destroy everything. Cooper opens her back door anyway. Starts searching. The shopping bag with brownies, her mother's scarf. Nothing illegal, nothing suspicious, everything innocent. A truck pulls in across the lot. A teenager pumps gas, phone out, recording. Faith sees the screen light up. She's being filmed. This should feel like protection. Somehow it feels like exposure. Davis steps close behind her. Too close. She hears his breathing. Smells coffee on it. Martinez stands to her left. Silent, uncomfortable. But he doesn't speak up, doesn't question, doesn't intervene. Cooper moves to the front seat, opens the glove compartment. Faith's badge wallet is right there. Black leather. FBI seal visible if you're looking. Cooper sees it. She watches his hand hover. He glances at her, then closes the compartment without touching it. He knows something is there, chooses to ignore it. The message is clear. Whatever you are doesn't matter. Faith makes a decision. Officer Cooper, I'm going to inform you that I'm a federal agent. I need you to keep your hands on the vehicle. My credentials are in the glove compartment. I'm Special Agent Faith Bennett with the Federal Bureau of... Cooper cuts her off. I don't care what you think you are. You're detained. His voice carries across the parking lot. The teenager with the phone films everything. And somewhere behind her, Faith's phone, still recording from her pocket, captures every word. 17 minutes. That's how long Faith Bennett stands with her hands on a car hood at the Shell station on exit 160 without being told why. 17 minutes while Officer Ryan Cooper searches a vehicle he has no legal right to search, while Davis stands behind her like a guard, while Martinez shifts his weight from foot to foot, looking anywhere but at her face. 17 minutes while the world watches. The teenager's TikTok goes live. 200 views in 4 minutes. Comments rolling. This is crazy, and same spot as before, and call the news. Within 6 minutes, a woman in an SUV starts a Facebook live stream. Shaky footage, but clear audio. Faith hears her own voice, steady and controlled, asking for the reason for the stop. Here's Cooper ignoring her. Someone in the comments types, Hartwell County again, this is the 3rd time I've seen. Faith doesn't know what that means yet. She will. Inside the convenience store, Kevin Harris stands behind the register. 26 years old, worked this station for 3 years. He's seen this before. Not similar situations. This exact situation. Same officers. Same stretch of road, same profile, different faces, same pattern. Kevin checks the security system, 4 cameras, all recording. Timestamps sync automatically, 21:17, 21:22, 21:28, 21:34. He makes a note in his phone. He's been keeping notes for 6 months. Doesn't know why. Just feels like someone should. Cooper finishes searching the trunk. Nothing. Moves to the back seat. Gift bags, homemade brownies wrapped in foil, a scarf with price tags still attached. Evidence of ordinary life. He finds nothing because there's nothing to find. But he's not done. "Nice car," Cooper says. Not a compliment. A question disguised as observation. "What'd you say you do for work?" "I told you. Federal employee." "Must pay well?" He's looking at her watch now. Nothing expensive. A Timex her son gave her for Christmas. "That real?" Faith understands what he's doing. She's seen it in case files. The phishing, establishing reason to seize assets, civil forfeiture procedure disguised as small talk. "I'm not answering questions without understanding why I'm detained." Cooper's face hardens. "You're detained because I say you're detained. That's not how the law works. I'm the law here." 4 words, 17 syllables, enough to summarize an entire system. Davis shifts behind her. His radio crackles. Dispatch asks for a status update. He doesn't respond. Cooper hasn't called in the stop. Protocol requires notification within 2 minutes of initial contact. They're 20 minutes in now. No call, no radio check, completely off book. Faith catalogs it all, every violation, every deviation from procedure. Her FBI training won't let her do anything else. Martinez finally speaks. "Coop, maybe we should—" "Shut up." Martinez goes quiet, stays quiet. The gas pump clicks off. Faith's tank is full. Under normal circumstances, she'd hang up the nozzle, pay, leave. But the nozzle hangs loose, gas fumes rising in cold air, while 3 officers make a spectacle of a woman whose only crime is driving while black. Faith's phone is on the ground now. Fell when Cooper pushed her against the car. Screen cracked, but the red light still glows. Still recording. She doesn't know about the teenager's 400,000 TikTok views. Doesn't know about the Facebook Live with 1,200 concurrent viewers. Doesn't know that someone tagged the local news, that a reporter just pulled the live stream onto his laptop and started making calls. She only knows what's in front of her. 3 officers, no explanation, and a choice. She can comply silently. Let this play out. File a complaint tomorrow that will vanish into a system designed to protect men like Cooper, or she can show them what they missed. Faith speaks, calm, clear. "Officer Cooper, for the record, I'm requesting that you retrieve my badge wallet from the glove compartment." Cooper stops, turns. "What?" "My credentials, black leather wallet, right side of the glove compartment. You saw it earlier." Cooper's jaw tightens. He saw it. They both know he saw it. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Yes, you do." Silence. Not the peaceful kind. The kind before something breaks. Cooper walks to the passenger door, opens it, opens the glove compartment. His hand closes around the badge wallet. He pulls it out slowly. The moment extends, stretches. Everyone watching knows something is about to shift. Cooper opens the wallet. Gold badge, FBI seal, embossed letters, Federal Bureau of Investigation, photo ID, Faith Bennett, title, Special Agent. Cooper's face does something faces do when the ground disappears. Blood drains, eyes widen, mouth opens, but no sound comes. 11 seconds of silence. Faith counts them. 11 seconds where the only sound is diesel engines on I-85 and whine through the gas station canopy. Then Faith speaks. "Special Agent Faith Bennett, Civil Rights Division, Federal Bureau of Investigation, badge number 8392. Now, Officer Cooper, I'm going to ask you again. What is the reason for this stop?" Cooper doesn't answer. Can't answer. Behind Faith, Davis actually steps back. Physical retreat. Martinez's hand drops from his belt, his radio, his weapon, like he wants nothing to do with what comes next. Cooper's voice, when it finally comes, is different, smaller. This doesn't change anything." Faith looks directly at him. "Actually, Officer Cooper, it changes everything." The universe inverts in the space of a breath. 20 seconds ago, Faith Bennett was a detainee, hands on a car, officers controlling her movement. Now she's the one asking questions, and the men with badges and guns have nothing to say. Davis backs up another step, literally backs away. His body camera, green light on, captures everything. Martinez's camera too. But Cooper's camera shows a red light. Off. Has been off the entire time. Malfunction, he'll claim later. Convenient malfunction. Faith knows this moment. She studied it, testified about it in federal court. The instant when people realize the power they assumed was absolute has limits, boundaries, consequences. Cooper still holds her badge wallet. His hands shake slightly. "I need your name, badge number, and supervisor's information," Faith says, not asking, stating. "You already know my name." Cooper's voice carries defiance, but it's hollow, performance without conviction. "I need your badge number." 4119. "Your supervisor?" Cooper hesitates. "Sergeant Jenkins." "And the reason for this stop?" Silence again, longer this time. 15 seconds, 20. Faith doesn't fill the silence. Silence is evidence too. "Your vehicle matched the description of one involved in an earlier incident," Cooper finally says. "What incident?" "A reported suspicious vehicle in the area. Incident report number?" Cooper's jaw works. "I'd have to look that up." "You'd have to look up the report that justified detaining a federal agent for 21 minutes and searching her vehicle without consent?" "I had reasonable suspicion." "Of what?" Another pause. Cooper's eyes dart to Davis, to Martinez, looking for support. Neither man makes eye contact. "Your vehicle is a 12-year-old Honda Accord with current registration and no violations. What specifically made it suspicious?" Cooper has no answer. Can't manufacture one fast enough. Faith continues, relentless but controlled. "You didn't call in the stop. Protocol requires notification within 2 minutes. Why?" "Radio malfunction." "Your body camera is off. Why?" "Equipment failure." "How convenient." Faith lets that sit. Then, "I'm going to leave now. I expect a full incident report filed within 24 hours. I expect all dash cam and body camera footage preserved. I expect your supervisor's name, direct line, and availability for an interview." Cooper nods, barely. Faith walks to her phone, bends down, picks it up. The screen is cracked but functional. Recording time, 23 minutes, 18 seconds. She stops the recording, saves it to 3 different cloud locations while the officers watch. She hangs up the gas nozzle, closes her gas cap, gets in her car. Cooper starts to speak, stops, tries again. "Agent Bennett." Faith looks at him through the open window. "Officer Cooper, you have the right to remain silent. I'd suggest you exercise it until you have an attorney present." She starts the engine, shifts into drive. In her rearview mirror, 3 officers, standing, not moving, just standing there in the neon glow of a gas station where they thought they had power. Faith drives. 3 miles down the road, her hands start shaking. Adrenaline dump, delayed shock. She pulls onto the shoulder, puts the car in park, grips the steering wheel until her knuckles ache. She's been a federal agent for 14 years. Faced down armed suspects, testified against cartels, walked into rooms where she was the only woman and the only person of color. None of it prepared her for 23 minutes at a gas station. She knows what she has to do next. She also knows how hard it's going to be. Faith takes out her phone, opens her contacts, finds the number for FBI Atlanta Field Office. Internal Affairs. Supervisory Special Agent Rodriguez. She doesn't call yet, just looks at the number. Tomorrow, she tells herself. Tomorrow, she'll make this official. Tonight, she just wants to see her mother. But even as she thinks it, she knows tomorrow won't be soon enough. She makes the call. By Saturday morning at 8 a.m., Faith Bennett has filed 3 separate complaints. FBI Civil Rights Division, Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Hartwell County Sheriff's Office, Internal Affairs. She doesn't expect all 3 to take her seriously. She's wrong. Agent Rodriguez calls her back within an hour. "Faith, I saw the video. Everyone's seen the video." Faith is standing in her mother's kitchen, coffee getting cold on the counter. "What video?" "TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. You've been viral since midnight. 400,000 views when I checked 10 minutes ago." Faith sits down. She didn't post anything, didn't send the footage anywhere yet. But the bystanders did. The teenager at the pump, the woman in the SUV. They watched injustice happen in real time and decided the world should see it too. "I need to open a formal investigation," Rodriguez says. "But Faith, you know the protocols. You can't be lead. Conflict of interest." "I'm the victim and the investigator. That's not conflict. That's expertise." "It's also emotional involvement. And that's exactly what defense attorneys will use to tear apart anything we build. Faith understands, hates it, but understands. Who's taking lead? Jenkins. You'll consult, but that's it. They talk for another 20 minutes. Rodriguez is thorough, professional. By the time they hang up, Faith knows the Bureau is taking this seriously. It helps. Not enough. But it helps. Her phone rings again before she can set it down. Unknown number. Faith almost declines. Then, "This is Agent Bennett. Agent Bennett, my name is Sarah Williams. I'm a civil rights attorney with the Southern Justice Coalition. I saw the video. Actually, I've been waiting for this video for 3 years. Sarah talks fast. Precise. The kind of person who's spent years building a case in her head and finally has the opening to present it. She's been tracking Hartwell County Sheriff's Department since 2021. Started after a client, Marcus Thompson, was stopped at exit 160. Vehicle seized. $8,000 in cash taken under civil asset forfeiture. Never charged with a crime. Never got his money back. I thought it was isolated, Sarah says. Then another client, same location, same story, then another. I started documenting. How many? Faith asks. At least 31 that I know of, but I think it's more, a lot more. Faith feels something shift. This isn't about her anymore. Never was. She's just the one who had the badge and the platform to fight back. Would you be willing to let me represent you? Sarah asks. Pro bono. But not just for you. For everyone they've done this to. Faith doesn't hesitate. Yes. By noon, Faith is sitting in Sarah's Atlanta office. Small space, stuffed with filing cabinets, walls covered in maps and timelines and photographs of a highway exit that looks the same in every picture. Sarah spreads documents across her desk. Freedom of Information Act requests, public records, budget reports, complaints filed and mysteriously lost, 3 years of patient, methodical documentation. This is Devin Taylor, Sarah says, gesturing to a man in his 30s with a laptop and tired eyes. Investigative reporter, Atlanta Tribune. He's been chasing this too. Devin looks up. Agent Bennett, hell of a night you had. That's one way to put it. Devin turns his laptop around. Spreadsheet, color-coded, hundreds of rows. Traffic stop data for Hartwell County. I've been requesting it for 18 months. They kept stonewalling. Your incident gave me legal leverage to push harder. Judge ordered release this morning. Faith leans forward, studies the data. 127 stops on Interstate 85, exit 155 through 165 in the last 6 months. 63 at exit 160 specifically. The gas station. The Shell station where Faith was detained. Demographics? Faith asks, though she already knows. Devin clicks a filter. The spreadsheet reorganizes. 89% people of color. Area demographics are 62% white, 23% black, 15% Hispanic, and other. Sarah adds, that disparity is statistically significant at p less than 0.001. It's not random, it's intentional. Faith sits back, breathes, processes. 127 people, 127 moments like hers. Except most of them didn't have a badge, didn't have resources, didn't have the power to fight back. There's more, Sarah says quietly. She slides another document across the desk. Internal Affairs files. Took a court order to unseal them. Faith opens the file. Officer Ryan Cooper. 17 complaints over 4 years. Complaint 1. Excessive force during arrest. Suspect's arm broken. Finding within policy. Complaint 4. Racial slur during traffic stop. Witnessed by passenger finding insufficient evidence. Complaint 9. Illegal search. Drugs allegedly found but later dismissed by judge. Finding officer acted in good faith. Complaint 17. Woman alleges sexual harassment during stop. Finding unfounded. 17 complaints. 0 disciplinary actions. Not even retraining. Not even a written warning. This is what institutional protection looks like, Sarah says. Devin pulls up another document. Now look at this. Department budget. Fiscal year 2023 to 2024. Faith reads. Line item 4, 7.1. Traffic citation revenue target, $420,000. Line item 4, 7.2. Traffic enforcement revenue target, $850,000. Total department budget, $6.2 million. Revenue from traffic enforcement, 14%. They have a quota, Faith says. Not officially. Devin corrects. Officially, quotas are illegal in Georgia, but look at line item 5.3. Faith finds it. Officer performance bonuses tied to productivity metrics, 25 stops per month minimum. Bonuses range from $500 to $1,000 quarterly. They monetize civil rights violations, Sarah says. Turned police work into a profit center. Devin clicks to another tab. Email records. Obtained through FOIA after Faith's incident gave them cause. From Sheriff Tom Bradley. 2. Patrol supervisors. Date, February 28, 2024, 2 weeks before Faith's stop. Subject, Q1 performance review. Body. Gentlemen, we're $47,000 under target for the quarter. Need to see those numbers up. Ryan, Cooper, and Jenkins are setting the standard. Let's see the rest of you match it. Remember what we talked about? Interstate corridor, out-of-state plates, nice vehicles, low-hanging fruit. Faith reads it twice, 3 times. He put it in writing, she says. He didn't think anyone would ever see it, Sarah replies. They work through lunch, through the afternoon, building the case, not just against Cooper, against the system that created him, protected him, profited from him. By 4 p.m., they have a timeline, a pattern, statistical evidence that would survive any courtroom challenge. Devin's phone buzzes. He checks it, goes still. What? Sarah asks. Southern Poverty Law Center just published their analysis. They ran the numbers independently. Same conclusion. Called it one of the most egregious examples of systemic racial profiling in the Southeast. The story is growing beyond their control now, beyond Faith's personal experience, becoming something larger. Faith's phone rings. Her mother. Baby, there are news trucks outside the house. What's happening? Faith closes her eyes. Mama, I'm sorry. I'll handle it. Don't apologize for doing what's right. But Faith, be careful. These people don't like being exposed. Her mother knows. Knows in a way only people who've lived through it can know. I will, Mama. She hangs up. Looks at Sarah and Devin. How fast can this move? Sarah considers. With federal involvement, with evidence this strong, fast, but there will be pushback, serious pushback. Let them push, Faith says. Devin is typing. I'm publishing Monday, front page, full investigation, every document, every statistic. I'm calling it the revenue pipeline, how one county turned civil rights into cash. They're going to come after you, Faith warns. Let them. Devin doesn't look up from his laptop. I've been waiting 3 years to write this story. By 6 p.m., Faith drives back to her mother's house. News vans are gone, but a patrol car sits 2 houses down. Unit 225, Officer Martinez, just sitting, watching. Message received. We know where you live. Faith parks, gets out, walks to her mother's door, doesn't look at the patrol car, won't give them the satisfaction. Inside, her mother has dinner waiting. Pot roast, the kind that takes all day, the kind that says I love you without words. They eat in silence for a while, then Gloria Bennett speaks. Your father tried to do this once. Faith looks up. What? 1987. He was a deputy, tried to report corruption, kickbacks, asset seizures that disappeared. A month later, his car ran off the road. They said he fell asleep at the wheel. Faith sets down her fork. You never told me this. You were 3 years old. What was I going to tell you? That they killed your father for trying to do the right thing? Do you really think? I don't know, baby. But I know his brake lines were fine when I dropped him at work that morning. And I know the investigation lasted exactly 2 days before they called it an accident. Gloria reaches across the table, takes Faith's hand. I'm proud of you, so proud, but I'm also scared. These people protect their own. They always have. Mama, I have to do this. I know you do. That's what scares me. They sit in silence, holding hands across a table. 2 generations of black women who've seen what happens when you challenge power. Outside, Officer Martinez's patrol car starts, drives away slowly, but Faith knows he'll be back. They always come back. The system didn't reach $850,000 in annual revenue by allowing one federal agent to dismantle it. By Monday morning, Faith Bennett becomes a problem that needs to be contained. Sheriff Tom Bradley calls a press conference. 2 p.m. Hartwell County Administration Building. American flag backdrop, local news cameras, Atlanta stations too. The story's gone regional. Bradley stands at the podium. 56 years old, sheriff for 12 years, up for re-election in November. I want to address the incident that occurred Friday evening involving one of our officers and a federal agent. His voice is measured, practiced. Let me be clear. The conduct displayed by Officer Ryan Cooper does not represent the values of this department. He pauses. Lets that land. This was an isolated incident involving a single officer who may have exercised poor judgment. Officer Cooper has been placed on administrative leave pending internal investigation. Isolated incident, single officer. The phrases are deliberate, surgical, designed to quarantine the damage. Our department has served this community with distinction for over 50 years. One officer's actions should not tarnish the reputation of the 47 dedicated men and women who wear this badge with honor. A reporter raises her hand. Sheriff Bradley, records show Officer Cooper has 17 prior complaints. Why was he still on active duty? Bradley's smile doesn't reach his eyes. Personnel matters are confidential. Next question. What about reports of a quota system for traffic stops? This department does not operate on quotas. That would be illegal. We have performance standards like any organization. Next question. The email you sent in February specifically mentioned revenue targets and suggested targeting out-of-state vehicles. How is that not a quota? Bradley's jaw tightens. That email has been taken out of context. I was discussing general patrol strategies, not mandating specific numbers. Faith watches from her mother's living room. Every word he says is technically defensible, technically legal, and completely dishonest. Her phone rings. Sarah Williams. Did you see it? Watching now, Faith says. He just threw Cooper under the bus and protected the system. That's the play. Sacrifice the individual, save the institution. We need to move faster, Sarah says. But faster is complicated. By Tuesday morning, Sarah gets a call from the district attorney's office. A courtesy call, they say. Just wanted to remind her that several of her other cases in Hartwell County are pending. Wouldn't want any scheduling conflicts. Translation, back off or we'll make your other work impossible. One of Sarah's clients, unrelated case, different county, suddenly gets charged with 3 additional violations. Violations that didn't exist last week. Message received loud and clear. Devin Taylor's editor gets a call too. County Commissioner's office, asking about the balance of Devin's reporting, reminding him that the Atlanta Tribune depends on legal notice revenue from Hartwell County, thousands of dollars annually, asking if he's confident in his sources. Devin tells his editor the story runs Monday regardless. His editor, to his credit, agrees. But Devin can hear the hesitation, the calculation, the awareness that newspapers run on money and Hartwell County provides some of it. Wednesday evening, Faith is at her mother's house. Car parked outside. Different car from yesterday. Unit 319. Officer Davis, just sitting, engine idling, watching the house. Gloria stands at the window. He's been there an hour. I know, Mama. This isn't right. No, it's not. Faith steps outside. Davis starts his engine, drives away, slowly, making sure she sees him leave. The next day, it's Martinez. Different officer, same message. We know where your mother lives. The anonymous calls start Tuesday. Heavy breathing, hang-ups. One voice, male, rough. You should have stayed in your lane, Agent Bennett. Another, feds aren't welcome here. Faith reports every call, gets case numbers, files reports, nothing happens. Thursday morning, her supervisor calls. SAC Rodriguez. His voice is different, careful. Faith, I need you back in Atlanta. I'm working the case from here. You're not working the case. Jenkins is. You're consulting. And right now, you need to consult from the office. Sir, this isn't a request. You're too close, emotionally involved. Defense attorneys will use that to tear apart everything we build. I'm the victim. That's not emotional involvement. That's standing ground. It's also a liability. Rodriguez sighs. Faith, I'm trying to protect you. I don't need protection. I need support. You have support. Federal investigation is open. Pattern and practice review is underway, but you need to step back. Let the process work. Faith wants to argue, knows it won't help. When? Monday. Report to Atlanta field office. You'll brief Jenkins, then you're reassigned temporarily. Different case, different jurisdiction. You're sidelining me. I'm protecting the integrity of the investigation, and you. The call ends. Faith sits in her childhood bedroom, boxes of case files around her, 127 names, 127 stories. And she's being pulled off the case she started. That night, her mother sits with her. Kitchen table, coffee between them. Baby, maybe, Gloria starts. Stops. Maybe this one you let go. Faith looks up. Mama, I know you can't, but I'm asking anyway. Gloria's voice cracks. I already buried your father. I won't bury you. They sit in silence. Outside, another patrol car drives by, slow, deliberate. Faith's phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. Drop it. 2 words. Clear message. She stares at those words. Thinks about her mother's fear, her son hearing lies at school, her career possibly damaged, everything at risk. Then she thinks about Marcus Thompson, $8,000 stolen, evicted because he couldn't make rent, Keisha Williams, detained 4 hours, fired from her job for missing shift, 127 people who didn't have power to fight back. Faith deletes the text, calls Sarah Williams. We're not stopping. Sheriff Bradley's attorney released a statement following the press conference. My client denies any knowledge of improper quotas and maintains that Officer Cooper's actions were not reflective of department policy. The statement did not address the email chain bearing the sheriff's signature dated February 28th, nor the budget documents outlining revenue targets. There's a moment in every fight where you question whether it's worth it. For Faith Bennett, that moment comes in a Hampton Inn off exit 142, 30 miles from where it all started. Thursday night, March 20th. She's been ordered back to Atlanta but hasn't left yet. Can't face her mother's worry. Can't face the office where she'll be reassigned to cases that don't matter as much as this one. The room smells like industrial detergent and loneliness. Chemical pine scent that fails to cover the staleness of 1,000 previous occupants. Faith sits on the edge of the bed, doesn't turn on the television, doesn't check her phone, just sits. On the desk, case files. 127 names compiled from Devin's data and Sarah's client list. Each name represents a person, a story, a violation. Marcus Thompson. Lost $8,000, evicted 2 months later. Keisha Williams, detained 4 hours, missed her shift, fired the next day. James Rodriguez, PTSD from the stop, still won't drive that highway. Patricia Johnson, 30 years teaching in the county, treated like a criminal at 62 years old. Faith's hands shake. Not from fear anymore, from exhaustion, from the weight of carrying 127 people's pain while being told to step back and let the process work. Her phone rings. Caller ID. Marcus, her son. She almost doesn't answer, doesn't want him to hear her like this, but he'll worry more if she doesn't pick up. Mom? His voice cracks. He's been crying. Faith closes her eyes. Baby, what's wrong? Kids at school. They're saying things. Silence. Then, they said you got arrested, that you lied about being FBI, that you're trying to get attention. Faith's heart breaks. 12 years old, already learning how the world protects power and questions victims. Trevor's dad is a cop. He said you're making everything up, that his dad knows the real story. Marcus, I told them you don't lie. I told them you're a real agent. I showed them your badge picture from your office, but they just laughed. Faith grips the phone. Wants to reach through it and hold him. Baby, something did happen, but not what they're saying. I know, Mom, I believe you. He pauses, voice smaller now. But did it happen because you're black? 12 years old, already understanding what she hoped he'd never have to learn this young. Yes, baby. I think so. Quiet breathing on the other end. Are you okay? He asks. Role reversal. The child comforting the parent. I'm okay, I promise. She's not. But what else can she say? I'm proud of you, Mom. Faith's voice catches. Tears she's been holding for 5 days finally break through. Thank you, baby. I love you. I love you too. The call ends. Faith sits in the dark, crying, not the elegant kind from movies, the ugly kind, the kind that comes from deep places, the kind that shakes your whole body. She remembers being 19, different highway. Same fear. That officer made her stand in the cold for 40 minutes. Searched everything. Asked how she afforded college like a full scholarship was impossible for someone who looked like her. She cried the whole drive back that night, too. Changed her major to criminal justice. Decided to fix the system from inside. 20 years later. Still crying. Still fighting. Still wondering if anything actually changes. Faith lies back on the hotel bed. Stares at the ceiling. Textured white surface, water stain in the corner, acoustic tiles that have absorbed too many stories like hers. Her phone buzzes. She ignores it. Buzzes again. She picks it up. Message from her mother. I'm praying for you, baby. Come home when you're ready. Another message. Sarah Williams. 14 more people came forward today. 14 because of you. Another. Devin Taylor. Article runs Monday. Front page. They can't stop it now. Another. Unknown number. Special Agent Bennett. This is Lieutenant James Anderson, Internal Affairs. I have something you need to see. Are you available to meet? Faith reads the messages. All of them. Thinks about Marcus Thompson's $8,000. Keisha Williams' lost job, her son's tears, her mother's fear, her own exhaustion. Thinks about the question she's been avoiding. Is it worth it? She doesn't have an answer yet. Not tonight. Tonight she's just tired. But somewhere between the tears and the darkness and the weight of everything, something shifts. Not hope exactly. Not yet. But something like resolve. The kind that comes when you're too tired to quit and too stubborn to accept defeat. Faith turns off the lamp. Lies in darkness, doesn't sleep, just breathes. And by morning, she'll know what comes next. Sometimes hope doesn't announce itself with trumpets. It just shows up, quietly at first, then louder. For Faith Bennett, hope arrives in the form of a text message at 6:47 a.m. Friday morning. Unknown number. Agent Bennett, this is James Anderson, Iowa. Don't call this number. Can we meet? I have something you need to see. Faith types back. Where? Waffle House, exit 150, 8 a.m. Come alone. She arrives early. Anderson's already there. Back booth, plain clothes, no uniform, mid-40s, weathered face, eyes that have seen too much. He slides a manila envelope across the table. Doesn't say hello. I could lose my pension for this. Faith doesn't touch the envelope yet. Why are you doing it? Anderson looks at his coffee. Because I've been watching good cops get pushed out and bad cops get promoted for 22 years. Because my daughter is your son's age. Because I took an oath that didn't have an asterisk. Faith opens the envelope. Financial documents, asset forfeiture records, distribution logs, numbers that don't match state reports. Can't testify yet, Anderson says. They'll destroy me, but soon, when the federal investigation goes formal. Until then, use these. He leaves cash for breakfast. Walks out without looking back. Faith has an ally on the inside again. By noon, Sarah Williams' phone won't stop ringing. 14 people in one day, all calling after seeing news coverage, all with the same story. Exit 160, stopped without cause, searched without consent, money seized, property taken, never charged, never compensated. Marcus Thompson calls first, the original client who started Sarah's investigation 3 years ago. I thought I was alone. I'm not alone. Keisha Williams, 29, nurse. Exit 160, 11 p.m. He asked where I got money for my scrubs, like I stole them. James Rodriguez, 44, contractor. Took $3,200 from my truck. Cash from a job, said it was suspicious, never charged me, never gave it back. Patricia Johnson, 52, teacher. I've been teaching in this county for 30 years. He talked to me like I was nothing. One couple surprises everyone. White, out-of-state plates, nice car. We thought it was just us. Thought maybe we looked suspicious somehow. Then we saw Agent Bennett's video and realized it's the location, the system. It's everyone they think has money. Not just racial profiling, economic predation, Saturday evening, community meeting, organized by Sarah and local activists, New Hope Baptist Church. Pastor Jerome Wilson offered the space immediately. Expected turnout, maybe 40 people. Actual, over 200. People from 5 counties. News cameras from Atlanta, Augusta, Savannah. The story has outgrown Hartwell, becoming something regional, national maybe. Pastor Wilson opens. This church has always been sanctuary. Tonight, it's sanctuary from injustice. Faith speaks reluctantly. She's not comfortable being the face of this. Never wanted to be. But she stands at the podium. I'm here because I had power to fight back. Most of you didn't. That's not fair. That's not justice. And that ends now. 14 victims testify. 2 minutes each. 28 minutes of pattern emerging in real time. Same location, same tactics, same officers, Cooper mostly. But Jenkins, too, Davis, others. By 9 p.m., someone has streamed the entire meeting on Facebook Live. 12,000 concurrent viewers at peak. Someone launches a GoFundMe. Justice for Hartwell County Victims, Legal Defense Fund. Goal, $25,000, reaches goal in 3 hours. By midnight, 47,000. Comments flood in from across the country. This happened to my brother. Same playbook, different state. Donating because this could be me. The movement grows beyond one woman at one gas station. Faith stands at the back of the church as people leave. An older woman, maybe 70, takes both Faith's hands. My grandson, exit 160, 2 years ago. He paid the fine, $1,200 he didn't have. I thought we just had to accept it. She squeezes Faith's hands hard. Thank you for not accepting it. Faith realizes something she should have known from the beginning. This was never just about her. It never is. Follow the money. That's what they teach you at the academy. Faith Bennett is about to learn exactly where the money went. Sunday morning, private meeting. Faith, Sarah Williams, Devin Taylor, Sarah's office, door locked, phones on silent. Faith opens the envelope Lieutenant Anderson gave her, spreads the documents across the desk. Document 1, Civil Asset Forfeiture Report, 18 months of data. Hartwell County Sheriff's Department, total assets seized, $1,847,000, cash, $890,000. Vehicles, $637,000, 22 vehicles total. Other property, $320,000. Jewelry, electronics, anything valuable. Sarah leans forward, studies the numbers. How much went to the state? Georgia law is clear. 60% of seized assets go to state general fund. 40% can be retained by the seizing agency for law enforcement purposes. Faith finds the distribution page. Amount reported to state, 0. Amount retained by department, 100% illegal, completely illegal. Devin starts typing. They kept everything, didn't file a single state report. Faith continues reading. Fund 4, 8.2, Special Operations Account, no itemization required, no oversight, money flows in, money flows out, no questions asked. Document 2 hits harder. Officer performance incentives, not just productivity bonuses for meeting stop quotas, seizure bonuses. Officers receive 2.5% of assets they personally seize. Faith calculates Cooper's numbers. $92,000 in cash seized across 31 stops over 18 months. His cut, $2,300 per quarter. Total, $9,200. Add productivity bonuses, $6,000. Add overtime for processing seizures, $7,800. Total extra income for Ryan Cooper in 18 months, $23,000 for violating civil rights systematically. They turned law enforcement into a profit center, Sarah says quietly. Devin pulls up his own research. Cross-references the 31 seizures with court records. Only 3 resulted in criminal charges. 28 people had property seized, were never charged with crimes, never got their property back. Marcus Thompson, $8,000 cash. Bank withdrawal slip proved legitimate source. Never charged. Money kept. Regina Davis, $12,000. Small business revenue. Had receipts. Charged with suspicious activity. Charges dropped. Money kept anyway. Thomas Williams, 2019 Dodge Charger, $28,000 value. Police report? Vehicle used in drug transaction. No drugs found, no charges filed, car sold at auction, department kept proceeds. The pattern is perfect, predatory, target people with cash or valuable vehicles, seize under civil forfeiture, don't charge them because criminal charges require proof. Civil seizures don't. Legal theft. Faith finds the final document, the one that changes everything. Sheriff's discretionary fund. $127,000 in 18 months, sourced from Seizure Fund 4, 8.2, no itemization, no approval needed, Bradley's policy, Bradley's signature. Receipts Anderson somehow obtained, campaign expenses, personal dinners at restaurants nowhere near Hartwell County, conference registration for a beach resort in Florida. He's not just enabling it, Faith says, he's profiting directly. Her phone rings. Rodriguez, FBI Atlanta. Faith, federal investigation just went formal. Grand jury convened. We have subpoena power now. I have financial records that show personal profit motive. Send them. Now. This just became a corruption case. Faith photographs every page, emails them from her secure FBI account, watches the progress bar climb. Monday morning, March 25th, FBI Atlanta Field Office releases a statement. The FBI's Civil Rights Division and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia announce a joint investigation into the Hartwell County Sheriff's Department. Investigation will examine patterns and practices of discriminatory policing, improper asset forfeiture, and potential civil rights violations. The statement includes a hotline number. By noon, it receives 43 calls. By evening, 68. People who've been silent for years suddenly have somewhere to report. Sheriff Bradley calls an emergency press conference, 3 p.m. His voice is different now. Defensive. These allegations are baseless and politically motivated. Reporter. What about the email you sent in February encouraging officers to target nice vehicles? Bradley. That email was taken out of context. What about civil asset forfeiture funds that weren't reported to the state? No comment on ongoing financial audits. His lawyer whispers something. Bradley adds, Officer Cooper acted alone, without department knowledge or approval. The reporter presses, your email specifically praised Cooper's performance 2 weeks before Agent Bennett's stop. How is that acting alone? Bradley doesn't answer. Walks away from the podium. Legal analyst on the local news that evening. When a sheriff says no comment about missing money, that's as good as an admission. Faith watches from Atlanta. She's back at the field office, briefing Jenkins, transferring files, being professional about being sidelined, but the case no longer needs her to drive it. The evidence drives itself now. $1,847,000. 28 people robbed under color of law. A sheriff who turned a badge into a revenue stream. The machine built to crush people like Faith Bennett is about to be crushed by the weight of its own greed. April 2nd, 2024. Fulton County Courthouse. Grand Jury Room 4B. 23 citizens will decide if there's enough evidence to indict. Faith Bennett will make sure there is. Grand jury proceedings are closed. No media, no public, no defense attorney present at this stage, just prosecutors presenting evidence to determine if charges are warranted. The standard is probable cause, not beyond reasonable doubt. Just enough evidence to believe crimes occurred. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jennifer Morrison has enough evidence to convict. Presenting for probable cause feels like using a sledgehammer to hang a picture frame. But she's thorough anyway. Witness list, Faith Bennett, Lieutenant James Anderson. Devin Taylor, 4 other victims, forensic accountant, evidence submitted, all 17 receipts compiled over 3 weeks. Video footage, financial records, email chains, statistical analysis. Faith is witness number 1, sworn in, right hand raised. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Morrison walks her through March 15th, every detail, every violation, every moment documented. What time were you stopped? 21:17 approximately. Had you committed any traffic violation? None. I was traveling 63 in a 65 zone, all lights functional, turn signals used. Describe Officer Cooper's approach. Aggressive, immediate, hand on weapon, no greeting, no explanation. The grand jury watches dashcam footage, 18 minutes condensed to key moments. Faith's voice calm throughout. Cooper's escalation clear. One juror shakes her head. Another takes notes. Underlines something twice. Morrison continues. When did you identify yourself as a federal agent? 22 minutes, 10 seconds into the encounter, when Officer Cooper opened my glove compartment during an unauthorized search. What was his reaction? Fear. Recognition that he'd made a serious mistake. Did he apologize? No. Did he provide justification for the stop? He claimed my vehicle matched a description from an earlier incident. We've since confirmed no such incident report exists. Morrison shifts. Agent Bennett, are you aware of other incidents involving Officer Cooper? Yes, 126 documented stops in the same location over 6 months. Juror number 7 writes, underlines. Demographic breakdown? 89% people of color in an area that's 62% white. Did your investigation reveal financial motive for these stops? Faith looks at the jury directly. Yes. Officer Cooper received $23,000 in bonuses and seizure commissions over 18 months. The department generated $1.8 million in civil asset forfeitures, funds that were not properly reported or distributed according to state law. In your professional opinion as a federal civil rights investigator with 14 years of experience, was this an isolated incident or a systematic pattern? This was systematic, deliberate, and profitable. Other victims testify. Marcus Thompson, Keisha Williams, Regina Davis, same location, same tactics, same loss, pattern undeniable. Lieutenant Anderson testifies last, voice shaking. 22 years on the force. He's burning his career to the ground and knows it. How many complaints were filed against Officer Cooper? 17 that I'm aware of. How many resulted in discipline? None. Why not? Long pause. Anderson looks at his hands, then at the jury. Because the system wasn't designed to discipline him. It was designed to protect him. His voice cracks. I've been documenting this for 2 years, waiting for someone with courage to bring it forward. Agent Bennett did what I couldn't. I'm ashamed it took this long. The jury deliberates. 1 hour, 32 minutes. They return. 4-person, Angela Thompson, 58, accountant, juror number 7. Morrison. Has the grand jury reached a decision? Thompson. We have. She reads. 12 counts. Count 1, deprivation of rights under color of law. Victim, Faith Bennett. True bill. Count 2 through 5, deprivation of rights. 4 other named victims. True bill, true bill, true bill, true bill. Count 6, conspiracy against rights. True bill. Count 7 through 9, theft of government funds. True bill, true bill, true bill. Count 10, wire fraud, false reporting to state. True bill. Count 11, obstruction of justice, destroying body camera footage. True bill. Count 12, civil rights conspiracy. Defendants, Ryan Cooper, Sheriff Tom Bradley, Supervisor Jenkins. True bill, not just Cooper. Sheriff Tom Bradley named in counts 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. Morrison. The grand jury recommends immediate arrest warrants. April 3rd, 10 a.m. Before warrants are served, Sheriff Tom Bradley releases a 1-sentence statement. Effective immediately, I resign as Sheriff of Hartwell County. No apology, no admission, just gone. Justice isn't an ending, it's a beginning. 3 months after a 9-minute encounter at a gas station, Hartwell County looks different. Ryan Cooper awaits trial. Bail set at $250,000. House arrest. Ankle monitor. Trial date September 2024. Faces maximum 10 years federal prison if convicted on all counts. Sheriff Bradley negotiates a plea deal. Cooperation in exchange for reduced sentence. He'll testify about the quota system he built, the revenue targets he enforced, the culture he created. 31 victims file federal civil rights lawsuit, seeking $4.7 million in damages and return of seized property. County's insurance carrier already negotiating settlement. Marcus Thompson will get his $8,000 back. With interest, Regina Davis reopens her business. May 1st, 2024, Department of Justice consent decree takes effect. Hartwell County Sheriff's Department now operates under federal supervision. Body cameras mandatory. Footage preserved 180 days. Quota system abolished. Civil asset forfeiture cases reviewed by independent civilian board. Federal monitor assigned for minimum 3 years. 89 prior cases under review. 12 convictions already overturned where seized evidence was the only basis. Faith returns to work. FBI Atlanta field office. Different now. Some colleagues supportive. Others think she made it about race when she should have handled it quietly. Faith doesn't care about their comfort anymore. She's seen what silence costs. New assignment, pattern and practice investigations nationwide. Her experience becomes her expertise. Not all 127 victims came forward. Some still afraid. Some moved away. Some want to forget. But 31 said, not anymore. Small victories, real victories. Faith drives past exit 160 now. Shell station still there. Different patrol patterns now. Consent decree working. She doesn't stop. Just keeps driving. Windows down. Radio playing. Going to see her mother. Like she should have been able to do in the first place. The badge doesn't make you above the law. It makes you accountable to it. Officer Cooper forgot that. Faith Bennett made sure he remembered. This story isn't unique. It's happening in counties across America. If it's happened to you, you're not alone. If you've witnessed it, your voice matters. Share this story, not for Faith, for the people who haven't found their voice yet. If stories like this matter to you, stories where evidence wins, where courage counts, where systems can change, subscribe. There are more stories to tell, more receipts to stack, more justice to pursue. Thank you for listening, and thank you for caring enough to demand better.